Go away.
How's it going out there, everyone? W.F.S. here, and today I want to talk to you about an article from Screen Rant where Quark actor says Q comparing Star Trek TNG to DS9 was so insulting. That is just so stupid. I'm sorry.
Picard and his lackeys would have solved all this technobabble hours ago. No wonder you're not commanding a starship. I'd keep my eye on this one. Chances are she's after your job. Enterprise. Oh, yes. Weren't you one of the little people?
Armin Shimerman, who played Quark on DS9, found it insulting that Q compared the show to TNG and was making disparaging remarks about the characters. Really? This is your grief? This is the thing you have an issue with? The show that they're talking about, rather the episode they're talking about, is from the first season where Q appeared dealing with Vash, and the episode was called Q-less. The argument being made by him here is gotta be the stupidest thing that I have ever heard in my life. To me, this is what they would call a wah-wah session right here. Shimerman appeared on the Delta Flyer podcast to discuss Q-less from the behind-the-scenes perspective from Star Trek Voyager's actors Robert Duncan McNeil and Garrett Wang, who shifted focus to an episode review of DS9 after completing their run-through of Voyager. Shimerman is quickly to note Q's repeated attempts to goat Commander Benjamin Sisko with comparisons to Captain Jean-Luc Picard, and address Q's additional insults toward Major Kira and Chief O'Brien. Read Shimerman's quotes below and listen to the Delta Flyers starting at 107 through 49. Okay, so basically what's going on here is Quark, we just might as well call him what he is, Quark, is crying because Q was picking on these characters. Q says something like, Picard would never put up with this. I guess that is why you don't have your own starship. Then he talks to Kira, and she says something defying to him, and he calls her something sort of misogynistic citation. And he turns to O'Brien and says, oh yes, and you were one of the little people, which was a double insult as far as I was concerned. One, he was accusing Cullum of being from the lower decks, and two, we all know that Cullum is Irish, and the little people is reference to leprechauns. What I found infuriating is really the powers that he decided that we had in the 6th episode of our first season to disparage us by making comparisons with other shows. I don't know about Voyager, but DS9 always lived in the shadows of the Next Generation, and this particular sequence of speeches by Q is indicative of what we've all frightened of, and that's when compared between the two shows. Wow, we would come up lacking. Yes, they put that in the mouth of Q, so you can take it too seriously. But I found that particularly additional to the script insulting. I'm sorry. Okay, let's stop for a moment and look at this for a moment, okay? Disparaging, insulting. This is not John Delancey we're talking about here. This is Q. Always a problem, arrogant, an antagonist, a pain in the ass. That's really what he was, a pain in the ass. And he was doing all this on purpose, just to get under their skin.
Go on, take a poke at me. You hit me. Picard never hit me. I'm not Picard.
The gripe that Armin is making is completely wrong, way off base. He's acting like John Delancey was doing this stuff on purpose. This was the character Q that we're talking about, and if he can't figure that out, that's his own problem. I love the character of Quark, but this argument that he made is just stupid.